So a quick video to show people how to use image planes in Modeler, and you can use ref images. The way I was doing it was to just full screen pure ref and then open up your desktop in Oculus once you're in VR and then just pin it. I don't really like using that method. I prefer to import image planes and then you can just position them around your scene. I did use medium a little bit before I started Blender, not much, but it'll be pretty much similar to the way the image planes in medium, which I like. You can just put as many of them as you like into your environment and then just move them around. It's a far better way, I think, than even though it's temporary, the whole pin thing, because eventually we're going to get a native support for image planes in Modeler, but you know, we don't really know how long that's going to be. So in the meantime, I think this is the best solution. So I'm in Blender here. I'm going to show it in Blender, but you can do it in any the 3D DCC packages or in ZBrush or whatever, because it's simple. You're just going to be exporting an OBJ. Just need somewhere to excuse me, export the OBJ so it writes the MTL file, and then your texture is attached to that. So I left this here in the scene because I believe it's customary to always delete the default cube. So I'll do that first and foremost, and just bring in a plane, and I'm just going to go across. Sorry about the weird squashed UI. I have a 4K monitor, so I have the whole thing compressed into this, whatever it is for recording, 720p. So jump into shading tab and then just any of your textures here, wherever your directories will be here. It's just the way I have my Blender set up. So you get your image preview here, your directory here, your shader editor here. That's 3D viewport. I can't remember what it's like by default, but anyway, just find, it's a handy way here. You can just drag and drop without having to look for files, and just save your default scene so that whatever your textures or whatever are. So I'll just drag this in. Sorry, I just need to apply material first, and as I said, squashy monitor, apply new material, then drag in that node, and I'm just going to minimize this, gives a bit of space, and just plug that into your color. Your plane, by default, your plane is already has it's mapped to 0 to 1 UV space, perfectly mapped by default when you create it. So there's the texture, and that's pretty much all you have to do in Blender. So then you just export your OBJ to wherever your directory is. Now just create a folder to put all this into so that your texture will be read with your MTL, your OBJ and your texture file that you're using in the same folder. So the MTL will be created automatically in the same destination here as you save. So I'm just going to save it as this, and just come down here to geometry and just make sure right materials is checked, and that way your MTL file will automatically be created. So I'll just export that. And before I leave Blender, I'll just show you how to do an easy way to, like if you try to, if you have a non-square texture here, like this one, and you try to map it straight onto a plane, it's going to, as I said, this is mapped to 0 to 1, so it's going to stretch that across the UVs. So you could go into your UV editor and scale this down till it looks right. But an easier way to do it is just go into this here. It's in here by default, so you can just search here for image or whatever, and it'll come up here, import images as planes. That's in your add-ons tab here in Blender preferences. I just have a hotkey there to control U, but it's up here, file. Do you remember edit preferences? Sorry, here, yeah, because I have control U. I just use that all the time. Then once you have that enable that add-on, as I say, it's in Blender by default, so you just need to enable it. What is it again? File, import, and then down here, images as planes. And it's this one down here, so I'll select that one, and you see it comes in. I'm just going to move it out of the way. Comes in at the proper aspect ratio to the plane is created at the exact. You can do this manually, but it's easier to just use this free add-on. And as you can see there, it's a mesh here. Here's the verts and all the rest of it. So that's just a quick way to for non-square textures. So here's the directory where it is two saved out. You can see the MTL file here. So I'm just going to open that up with Notepad. You can see here's the where it references that your texture. So this just gives you basic information about the material, and it references that same texture there, so you don't even have to worry about that file. And then I'm just going to drop in. I just pasted that in from where I had it, the crate, just so that they're all in the same. If you know, if you wanted to give this to somebody else, they're not the reference to the local drive there. They're not going to have that. So you can just drop the texture into this folder, and then when you send it to somebody and they open it up, yeah, everything's going to be grand. So that's all you need to do there. Just have the 3 of these in their own folder. Easy. Yeah, of course, before we jump into VR, this has to be done from the desktop. Still at the moment in the beta, so just file, import, and then just grab that OBJ that you saved out, and that pops straight in. Now it's upside down. You can see here across the X, and there's the Z up, so it's upside down, but it's no big deal because you can actually manipulate these. You don't have to turn them into clay or anything, so you can just move them around wherever you like, and then you can just import as many as you like. I'm not used to desktop. I always use VR, so yeah, I'm not even going to have to go into VR for this for the demo. I think you get the idea. So you can see how. Oops, sorry, I want this one. You can see how useful. So yeah, set up grabbing desktop, never use it. But yes, you can see how useful this would be. You can just put these wherever you like then in your scene. And when you're in VR, of course, you can just grab them with your hand and place them around as you walk. And then if you come down here, you can hide them as well, so they won't always be in your way. Just select and hide. And then, sorry, let's go off screen there. Show all. Now, you can't lock them at the moment, but it's no big deal because you're going to be working on a layer and you won't be able to affect them anyway. And plus, they're not even clay. They're just, you can see they're just single-sided planes. And yeah, they don't use any resources in it. You don't have to convert them to clay. So that's pretty much it. Simple, and in my opinion, far better than using the pinned desktop, because also you can save this file now, and these will always be opened with the save. You don't have to do that pinning thing every time and open it up, and it's a pain in the arse in my opinion. And compared to this is grand, you know. So hopefully this was helpful. Alright, cheers, thanks, good luck.